Alright, I know updates have been insanely slow, but we're still working on the car. Don't worry about that. I'm just slow at getting uploads up. But anyways, take a look at this video. We work on the bumper and the car touches the ground for the first time in a very long time, and I like the way the stance turned out. We pretty much nailed it on our measurements, so I'm real happy about that. But anyways, take a look at this. We're working on the bumper. Got the factory brackets back on. We're going to see if we can make something work out of them. This one here was tweaked. You can see we got a real long bolt in there so we could pull it down against the bumper. So we're getting ready to heat it up a little bit. Maybe get it to naturally go back to where it was supposed to. Those there lined up good. Just this one here was pooched way out like it had been hit. And these here lined up real good. So we're getting ready to heat it, see what it does. Alright, we went ahead and heated this up right here, and everything fell back into place. So we went in and stuck the shorter bolt in there because it matches up now. So they're now pretty even both sides. Alright, we're working on figuring out how to mount the bumper. We got these pieces of 1 3/4 tubing slid back in there a little ways. Just sitting in there right now. And there's the factory bumper brackets. As you can see, they're above that. So we came up with these right here. The way these work, they will sit on top of here like that. If I can hold them. Like that. And then we'll weld them to the spring brackets, the factory spring brackets, and then cut off the excess hanging out. So that way we can be able to insert the bumper and take it out. Like if we go drag racing, want to lose some weight, leave this one on for the street, a little heavier, and maybe put a fiberglass one on for the strip or whatever later on down the road. But that's where we're at. Gotta clean all the rust out of there. And make sure the bumper's where we want it before we do the tack welding. Get these pieces. We got a gap up here. We're going to fill just the end of it to keep it square. Put our bolts through here, 2 bolts on each side, and put a sleeve down the middle of this. Hold everything in position. Last time I showed you these brackets we were going to weld on the bumper. Well, they're probably not going to work anymore because we scrapped part of that idea. We've now decided to move the bumper closer to the body because this piece here that we spent probably 3 hours getting right doesn't quite line up with the body down in here. Seems to fit alright, but we can't get it to match up right because we put this piece in that didn't fit to begin with, and we made it fit, and now it doesn't fit that very good. So we decided to move the bumper up and forward. I made this little jig here. It's got a hinge set up on it. This was originally welded onto this. We bolted it to the bumper or license plate here, and then this was the hinge part. There's a tube running through the middle here, and this could flip up and down to change the angle of the bumper. Then we got the angle right. We tack welded this so the hinge couldn't move anymore, and it was also adjustable up and down in this slide tube and in and out on this tube. Everything is tacked in place because the bumper's where we want it. However, the problem we have now is the deck lid just barely hits it right here. So we're thinking about just grinding the bumper a little bit or drop it down. The other thing is right here you can see where the factory bumper came to is now from here clear up to here, and we lost all body clearance. So we're not sure if we're gonna cut the bumper back or if we're gonna move this, thin this down a little bit and just keep a smaller edge on it. So that's where we're at. Bumper's moved up probably about 1.5 inches from where it was from the factory. Alright, here's the bumper alignment. Got some great cardboard shims in there. You can see now I won't have to have much of a filler panel to go in here. cover all that stuff down there. Plus when the headlights are on, you won't see any of that under there. But the bumper fits about as good as we're going to get it. Now I got to figure out how to mount it permanently. Makes the car look quite a bit different with the bumper that much further forward. So we did decide to just grind these down. They come out pretty good. So I'll probably just leave that like it is and then get it re-chromed. We also had to grind just a little bit here because it was hitting where that arrow is. It's hitting right there, so we smoothed that line out and brought it on around. Had to do that on both sides. We finally settled in on what we're going to do to hold the rear bumper on. We built these here up. They have sleeves down the middle to keep from crushing. Milled them off on the ends, keep them flat. And 2 bolt holes on the bottom to hold them down to the frame. You can see you've got 2 holes drilled in there. One of these will be on each side. The bumper will be welded to that. I'll have bolts go in there. After I tighten the bottom of it down, they should go. That way they'll allow the bumper to slide out. Got the same thing over there. Then we're going to weld these brackets to this tube like this, and then the bumper factory Studebaker brackets will weld up here, so that way it'll be removable with this. That's why this is bent. So we got the front of the Studebaker brackets cut, and that's going to be our next step, is getting this stuff tacked onto the bumper. Alright, we went ahead and got these bumper brackets tack welded on. You can see here what we ended up doing. Those are tack welded to those tubes that slide out, and then those are tack welded onto the factory Studebaker bumper mounts. So we're getting ready to pull the bumper off and do the final welding on all that, and hopefully it'll still slide in and out like it's designed. We just finished up reinforcing the bumper brackets. Put these pieces in here, this gusset support here, and a piece across here. Did that on both of them. They're about ready to, a little more grinding, and they'll be ready to sand down and powder coat. So that's where we're at in the bumper. We ended up sticking the bumper backwards on the jig, made it a lot easier to work on while we tacked everything in place. We're getting ready to lift the car off the dolly for the first time. So hopefully next few minutes it'll be sitting on the ground. We'll be able to see what this thing's going to look like stance-wise. Undo a few bolts.
Tight back there.
Yep. Oh wow. That looks cool.
Looks really sweet.
That's the stance. Yeah! Wow! That thing looks bad.
It's down too, that way.
That thing looks bad. Look at that. Man. Wow.
That's got gasser, but it's down.
That's got the stance. Man. That looks really good. It's lower than I thought it would look.
And we could take one leaf out of the springs too.
Yeah, I like that. Do you like the height?
Yeah, it's down low, lower, but still a gasser.
Wow. It's good height. Good height. Alright, we got her up in the air. I've never been able to show you very good what it looks like under here. The fuel tank is currently out of it. But right there's the... trying to get a flashlight under here so it kind of looks like something. There's where the floor's welded to in the trunk down the middle there. That's an extra support. And then it goes up to there. Right there across. And that's kind of where the seam of the floor is. You can see our battery box right there. That bar goes all the way over there.
Fuel tank's not in there either right now.
Yeah, these right here are straps where the fuel tank rests up against. We'll put pads on there. Fuel tank will rest up against that, and then those bolts right there are what hold the straps up for the fuel tank. This bar here is removable. Got it kind of taped up there, just holding the bolts in. So if we ever need to pull the fuel tank supports out, we can. They're just bolted in back here with these clevises we made. You can see you got the coilovers back here. Cross members we made with nylon mount bushings up there. They're crooked in there right now, but after we get the body off, we'll knock them washers that are sitting up there for guide when we put this in. You can see our ladder bars and our wishbone. Everything came out really good here. Try and get down low. Everything come out looking real good. Our cross member up there. Here's our drive shaft loop that's also made into the shifter support. Goes up there. See it going back, and then there's another loop, half loop right there. We haven't decided if we're going to put another loop right there or not. But right there, that'll meet NHRA specs. And that's our cross member right there for NHRA spec. That one that runs across there. There you can see our brake sitting under here. Come through the floor. Tranny sitting there and engine hanging there. So for the first time up in the air, it looks really, really good. So we're pretty happy with it. Alright, that's going to do it for this update. I'd like to get some updates more often. If I could do it every week, that would be great. We'll see what I can do because I got a lot of updating to do because the car's a lot further along than this picture shows. But anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, please like and subscribe.